What's up? Hello, SolarLoon here. I'm an indie game developer. This is kind of a weird place for my camera, I think. But yeah, I'm an indie game developer, and I am working on a 2D adventure game called I Know Who I Am in Godot, the Godot game engine. And it's been real. It's been fun. How's everyone doing today? It's Friday, yes indeed. Oh, Noah S just says, I just now switched to Pop OS. Wow, what are the odds? It's pretty solid. It's basically Ubuntu. It's not really too much of a difference, but it gets the job done. I mean, well, there's some like additional things on top, but it's fundamentally kind of Ubuntu, but with some slight changes for the packaging system. I think Ubuntu moved to like not Flatpak, the other one, Snap. I think like it moved more heavily to Snap, and Pop OS just uses the standard deb distribution method, so it's a little bit more of a traditional Ubuntu rather than using like sandboxing and all that stuff for apps, which means like less. It seems like programs take up less space on your hard drive because they don't have to have so many dependencies. But then again, it's also thought to be less safe, so it's something to consider. Anyway, this is my game I've been working on. I Know Who I Am. And yeah, so far it's looking pretty good, feeling pretty good. Definitely looking like a solid adventure game. It's looking kind of heavy, looking kind of cool. Yeah, so this is what we're gonna be working on. This is the project I've been working on for the past few months. And if anyone's watching this later and is interested in master plan, I'm still working on that. Working on the Steam page actually for that. And it's interesting because I believe people also had issues where they weren't able to open master plan on Mac outside of the Itch app, and I believe that's because the app isn't signed. So I was working to get that signed to basically go through Apple and become a developer and everything, but it's proving problematic because they won't take my money. So you have to pay $100 to be a developer, and for whatever reason, they won't accept my credit card or my debit card. So it's weird. It's a weird situation. Noah S says it's pretty smooth, but the important thing is, do games run well? I haven't downloaded any yet. They run as well as with pretty much any distribution of Linux. I haven't really had any problems with Pop over Solus. They both ran games perfectly fine. Windows through Proton or native Linux games, both were perfectly passable, playable, and enjoyable. Like I didn't really have any problems. So yeah. So today, something I wanted to do. I'm not sure how really doable this will be. I'm gonna see something real quick. Am I not? I am not. Okay. So something I wanted to do at some point was add some characters kind of walking back and forth, like this bum here. But he's kind of an important bum a little bit. But I wanted to add some like non-interactable characters, like people just walking back and forth, to kind of give the feeling of a bigger, heavier city. Different games do this where it's like, you try to talk to a person and they're like, oh, I can't talk to you, or I'm too busy, that kind of stuff. Versus characters who might be more important and more detailed. I had this kind of drawn. Let me see if I can pull up a sprite to show the asset I drew. Master. No. Textures. Let's see. Computer GUI portraits. So I have just kind of an unknown man character here. And I like the idea of just basically, in addition to people who have portraits and people who are important, you have these characters, that kind of indicate like, oh yeah, this guy's not that important. He's just a man. He's just a dude. And characters like this will be walking back and forth and have this kind of simple sprite. So I'll go ahead and add that. And I don't think it should be too hard to do, and it should add a little something to the ambience of the project. Did I close this scene? Why did I close this scene? That's weird. Let's go back to the city. And they would fit in areas like this where the both sides of the street are open. And it probably works something like the car spawning system that I have implemented, where basically, characters enter from one side of the screen and just walk to the other side, or vice versa. The cars are collidable. They are randomly chosen. but they just move left until they get to the other end, and then they despawn. So that's it. So that's basically the same system that I will use for the humans. They'll just move left or right on different lanes. So the people walking left will be maybe down, maybe up here. People walking right will be down here, something like that. Something pretty simple, not too complicated. And I feel like that would, add a little bit of kind of an interesting design to the world. Interesting feel. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. So let's go ahead and pull up a sprite. And while I'm doing that, let me get some music going. How's everybody doing in chat? Always good to have people joining in and watching me build out my simple game bit by bit. Rin Maverick says, hey, caught you live for once. Hello. Hi. And yeah, I'm starting this a little bit earlier. This is 10 a.m. on a Friday. Usually I do it at like 2 or maybe 4. But I remember somebody saying that they were in the UK or in Europe and they weren't able to watch the streams because basically they were coming by a little bit later, or just, the time difference. So I thought, well, maybe if I, not this one actually, let's try a different song. Maybe if I start a little bit earlier, like 10 a.m., maybe for them it would be like maybe 10 p.m. or something like that, and they could watch for a couple hours. And so we'll try different time slots and see how everybody enjoys it. Aspiring Ape has a question. Sorry, I just have to pull up a song here real quick. This one probably will work pretty well. I'm not hearing any music. All right, instantly loud music. Desktop audio, can you please? All right, there we go. All right, this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Aspiring Ape says, I'm in the UK. It's 6 p.m. here right now, so it works great. Oh, perfect. Rin Maverick says, yeah, usually you go live when it's 2 a.m. over here in Europe. Okay, so then right now it might be like, what? Like 10 p.m. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, 10 p.m. in Europe. Okay, excellent. And Aspiring Ape says, I had a quick question regarding master plan. Is there a way to pan around using the mouse? Currently using the Mac version, love the tool. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, if you have a mouse with the middle button, you can click and drag the middle button to pan. Let me just show this real quick. So yeah, click and drag the middle button to pan around, or you can use the W, A, S, and D keys to move around. Either one works. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get back to this. Why does this feel so laggy? Feels like A sprite is laggy. Hold on. Let's try restarting that. Yeah, this is weird. It feels a little laggy. Why is that? But I feel like it's only A sprite. Strange. Oh wait, actually, let me do something real quick with NVIDIA. Make sure that it's performing properly. That didn't make any difference. oh well. Yeah, I don't know why it feels like it's lagging. It feels like it's definitively like hardcore, like stuttering. Like it's 20 or 30 FPS. That's really weird. All right, well, I mean, nothing you can really do about it. We'll just have to make do with what we got. All right, so this is our player character. We're just gonna copy that for now so we can kind of get well, I guess we'll copy the shadow and we'll copy the general proportions of the character. Okay. So this is just gonna be a general guy, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Something like this. Okay, I think we're on the right track here. Do I have any? Yeah, okay. Let's see. All right, so what we're gonna do, something like this should work, I think. Excuse me for sniffling, just sneezed. Okay, so this should be roughly correct. I'm just gonna walk, he's just gonna be walking. Well, I guess he'll have to stop when you talk to him, so. Okay. Actually, I want him to be paler. I want him to be wearing a raincoat, or just a coat because it's cold. But I also want him to not look so odd. Is it F7? Yeah, okay. Okay, this is shaping up. We're hacking away at it. I think his skin color should look a little bit more, yeah. Pardon me again. Zyodic says, hello there. Hello, Zyodic. Welcome. Good to... I don't have a shirt pocket. Oh, man. Good to see you, Zyodic. Welcome to the stream. I'm just drawing a kind of nobody, basically, right now. This kind of is shaping up. I like this. I like how it's just the feel of this is solid. Generally, the characters I design are basically like 3 colors, I guess, in outline. So skin, hair, and shirt, basically. So 1, 2. So we can spare another color on this guy. So maybe a different color for his shirt. Something muted, like just slight blue. Ideally, it would be a color we could use, though, elsewhere. That kind of works. I like this overall. I like this. Maybe no. That might be what we want. So that could blend in better with that color, yeah. yeah, it would be nice if I could like draw a full suit, but it's just the restrictions of the coloring is tough. I like this. He feels kind of plain in a, like, we're trying to make him plain way. Shadow should be this color. Okay, we're good. So we're gonna make his shoes a little lighter so that they stand out against the shadow. There we go. Okay, so we're good. Hey, look at this cocoon man turned into this dude, which looks a lot better. Nice. Okay, so we can do something maybe with his hair. Just give him a little bit more personality. It's a little interesting when you have such little room to work with. Although that works. That's cool, dude. That's what I love about pixel art. Is just like that phenomenon of like you shave off one pixel and then it suddenly is like, oh yeah, that's hair. Like this was like, you know, what is this? Like the hair doesn't really look right, and I'm like, okay, if we shave off the outline, then the darkness becomes the back part of the hair, and now it looks a little better. And then you shave off the right thing for weighting because it's a little heavy on the right side. You shave that off. Now it's like, yeah, it's solid. It's just pixel art, dude. It's just like there's such a science to it. It's so good. All right, that's good. That's good. That's fine. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. All right, so we're gonna go with this guy. So we just have to basically animate. 4 frames should probably be enough. Actually, let's put his hands in his pockets. Yeah, because it's cold. Yeah, so that makes more sense. Yeah, I think that one unbroken pixel makes it feel more like there's a pocket there. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go with that. Yeah, that's good. All right. I guess, yeah, that's fine. So we'll move him up, and then move him down, and move him up, and move him down. Actually, this will probably be crossing. So the general way that... Oh wait, Jakub Karkoska says, yo, good to see the progress you made so far. How are you? Thank you very much. I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you very much for stopping by the stream. And yeah, everything's going pretty okay. Pretty A-okay. And so we're animating a walking cycle basically for this no-name guy right now. And so the general way that I animate walking cycles is just kind of like, you animate the crossing frame and then you animate the in-between frame, and that's and then it's easy. So it's easy to start off with like, yeah, with like the harder, like the more defined frames, and then you can make the middle more easily. So crossing is gonna be here. Something like this. Let me check a look at something real quick. Yeah, okay, I do. Okay, so there's a problem here. The reason why it looks weird, for one thing, it's just it looks weird for a couple reasons. That helps. But also his legs are too long, right? They're also the feet are too big because they're basically 2 pixels. Here they're like 3. And then also in addition, his legs are too long, so we have to fix that. So this should probably be like that. This should probably be like this. Better. Well, no, actually his legs are of the right length because basically he's crossing. So that means his legs are outstretched, right? And then he comes back down. So I think that's fine. We'll see how it looks when we actually animate it, but I think when the entire thing's done. But I think it's probably fine for now. So crossed, which means this leg is gonna be like here, right? Or no. This leg, the back leg, is gonna be here. And then this leg is gonna be like that. Okay. Something like that. Let's tag this. Oh, this is gonna be just like okay. Okay, so it doesn't work. It doesn't work. But that's okay. That's okay. So yeah, this leg should be probably behind. Something like this. Something like that. Yeah, better. Okay, better. All right, so we're gonna add an in-between frame, which is probably gonna be in between these two. And apologies for this being kind of bad because it's tough because yeah, a sprite is kind of laggy for some reason for me. That's fine, but I'm wondering if it's too smooth because no, okay. Yeah, I was wondering like how many frames do I have for the player's welcome cycle. We can probably get away with half for these characters because they're so unimportant, relatively speaking. Okay, so yeah, like I think that's probably enough. Move this down. Move this down. Okay. Yeah, that little hair bounce helps kind of sell the movement. Alright. And we can kind of like work around a little bit to sell it a little bit harder. Just a smidge harder. Yeah, that's fine, I think. That's fine. For this guy who's just gonna be walking by, I think that's fine. Cool. So now we're just gonna basically do this and make it work. So we're gonna add well, I guess the first thing we'll just make one guy and make him walk across and make it so that you can talk to him. And then we'll make an object that spawns these guys periodically. And that should be it. so we're gonna go ahead and go to 2D scene. This is gonna be an unknown man. Change type. This is gonna be a rigid body 2D. Or no, static. I guess it could be static. Let me see. Is this guy? He is static. Okay. So this is gonna be also a collision. Shape 2D. And then we also want to add a sprite. Okay. So. Oh, I didn't export it. Okay. Open file, please. Yes. All right. There we go. Now we have an unknown man sprite. Put it in the texture here. Add an animation player. And we're gonna make a walk animation sprite. 4 frames. Create a new thing there. And we're gonna go ahead and animate this. So it's pretty straightforward. So he's, oh yeah, we wanna make sure we save that. Okay. So, and we wanna circle shape. Wait, how did I thought there was like a... No, okay, that's the way I do it. All right, I thought there was like a like oval shape, maybe not. Jacob says, I think you hid his shadow. Oh yeah, maybe I guess I did. Let me go back. You're right. There we go. Yeah, we have to fix this. Okay. And Bundi says, hey, how's it going? Oh, hello. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for stopping by. And he says, it's been a while since I heard this song. Yeah, it's been a hot minute. All right, I forgot. Yeah, we have to actually kind of animate this shadow a little bit. Just a little bit. We'll do. Yeah, just that. Actually, the shadow grows a little bit too much there. That'll be enough. Yeah, okay, we're good. All right, so now we go back. We're gonna make this, instead of a circle, we're gonna make this a rectangle. It's gonna be like maybe 4, maybe 6 by 3. That might be enough. Move sprite up. Can I get a snap to pixel, please? Thank you. That's good. Let's move him just so he's somewhere a little bit more sensible. Okay. All right, so animate. Right, we're gonna animate this guy. So let's just rename this. This is gonna be idle, and then we can make a new one for walk. And then we go over here. We say we want frame 1. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, and that's it. And we're just gonna say 3.3 loop, play it back. That's fine. All right, so an unknown man is there. We're gonna give him a NPC brain so that he can interact. This is gonna be kind of interesting because we don't have the ability to assign a script directly to it. We can give it an event label. I probably should fix this a little bit differently, but I think it'll be okay. Well, I guess... This is interesting, because the way that my system works is basically an NPC on a map is given a... If you give it a brain, it has to have a event that belongs to the map. When really, this guy probably would always have the same event regardless of where he is on the map. But I guess that's fine. We'll just do it like this. Yeah, we'll just leave it like this. And then we'll just define unknown man in this map thing, because I don't want to have to redefine this to make it work correctly. All right, so we're just going to do this. We're going to say a YSort instance child is going to be the unknown man. Place him there, and we're gonna go to script for 4th Avenue, class unknown man stings yes. Time to talk right now. All right, cool. So then we should be able to just like walk up and talk to him. If I didn't do that. All right. Now we're good. I'm gonna talk right now. Yeah, there we go. So he's not playing the walk animation, so we have to fix that. Let's go over here. We want the walk animation to play autoplay, and we want him to walk constantly, basically to the right. Jakub Koroska says, could you show your collision layers? Interested in how you manage these. The collision system is basically, pull up tiled, I cannot. I have to pull up itch first. The collision system is basically made in such a way where I define it on the map, and then when I import it in from tiled into Godot, it automatically basically assigns the map a collision object. So it's automatic basically. If we pull up 4th Ave, this is the map in tiled, and you can see it's basically just one solid object. This thing I'm dragging here. And so we can see I just defined the points. So it's just a polygon set to solids, or with a name of solids as the layer. I don't think the name actually matters. And then when I go to Godot and import it, it basically turns it into a contiguous shape, the bounds of which I cannot cross. So that's what makes it work. So then you can't walk into stuff, then, it's a real kind of physical place, in a sense. Pretty straightforward, not too difficult. Yeah. So that's that. So this guy always needs to walk right, so we're gonna go ahead and give him an animation, I suppose. No, I don't want to give him an animation, actually. Let me go back and think about this a little bit. That's more so for like paths and stuff, because this guy's just gonna be walking right. Might be better to just give him a script that basically moves his body right constantly, or left and flips his animation. Like, that's basically it. There's not really any reason to do anything else. Yeah, that might be it. Let's go ahead and let's try this. We can fix it up and make it work better, as we go on and kind of look at the problems. I already envision one of the problems we're gonna see and a solution for it. So we're just going to do this. We're gonna make a script for this guy. Unknown man. It's fine. Extends. It's gonna be a static body 2D. Facing right. It's true. We're gonna export this. Actually, we don't need to do that. Facing right is true, and then process. We're just going to basically say, let's see, something like that. I don't think that's correct actually, but let's take a look. Is position, yeah, that works. Okay, so I think position.x plus equals 0.1, that might be enough, or maybe just like 30 times delta. Let's go 60 times delta, see how that is. Then we go to unknown man and assign that script to him. Oh, where did I save it? Oh, did I not save it? Okay. What put it there. Okay, hold on. We want to put it into... Probably brains would be fine. To be honest, it might be better to simply make it so that he moves. Like, it's an additional thing that just makes him move right. Kind of like the car, how the car works. Because the car does its own thing. Well, this is fine because we might want to change his sprite, right? We might have like multiple sprites. You know, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, we're good. We're good. So let's go back and give this guy this brain. Actually, it's not a brain. This is specifically for like NPC, like logic stuff. So let's move this out. This should be in objects. Okay. Objects unknown. There we go. Let's see. The cooled says hello and cool. Thank you and hello. It's always good to have people joining in, stopping by. All right, so here's an unknown man that's working. Let's go ahead and see if he actually moves. He does, and you can see he drags us along. So this is kind of one of those things I thought would be a problem. For one thing, he moves too quickly. He moves rather quickly, so let's move it maybe a little bit slower. But then also, he's dragging us along. We probably want to just like, you know, push the player out the way, right? And a simple way to do that would be to change the shape to be like a diamond, I think. So we could do like a convex, yeah, polygon shape. That might be good. So let's try that. Can I do this here? Can I define it here? It doesn't seem like I can define it here. Concave, convex, no. No, can't define it. Let's see. Doesn't seem like I can define the shape. Can I define this some other way? Let's see. Collision polygon. Maybe that will work better. Build mode solids. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we want something like this. Something, yeah, more like this, I think would work. Yeah, I think that something like that would work. Let's go ahead and see if that works. Yeah, so we just move out of this way, exactly. Exactly, perfect. Yeah, we talk, okay, then yeah, he keeps going, that's fine. So we just need to basically only do this if, globals.npc, interaction NPC is equal to get node NPC brain. I believe that should work. Or wait, no. That didn't work itself. Oh yeah, we can't do it here. This is inside his code. What we want to do is close the other tabs. Okay, and help ourselves out. If it's not equal, so basically, if you're not talking to this guy, then he'll keep walking, which is fine. Okay, there we go. Excuse me, I don't have time zone right now. All right, and you can see he stops. He just like slides along because we didn't restart the animation. That's fine. We can just fix this in 4th av.gd. We can just go ahead and say anim idle and then anim walk. There we go. Name tag unknown man. Cool. And when we play, it should work. I don't have time to talk right now. All right, cool. Not perfect, but it works. It works well enough. Now, I think you probably saw that, like this guy Brutus moved me out the way of the interaction. So there's a couple ways we could solve that. One would be to simply make so that they just never cross paths, right? So this guy basically walks on a path maybe around here, and then people are walking by down here, so you never have a situation where you get pushed out of the way. Another option would be to make it so that everybody stops moving when you're talking to someone, at least Brutus does. This guy. I'm not too much of a fan of that. It makes it feel less alive and less real. So I think what I'm gonna do is instead. I think instead what I'm gonna do. Actually, let me. Oh. I'm thinking of something. Hold on. Okay. I'm thinking again. Hold on. Okay. Because I already have this system in place where we do some of this already. So I can make this. I can do this a different way, basically. I believe. So we're gonna not make this an automatically playing animation. We're going to instead, and we don't need this script anymore, now that I think about it, because we're gonna basically do this with an animation. And the advantage of that is that basically we can stop the animation, we can play it, and the overall advantage is basically we don't have to have this script, this additional script. Although we might need to change his sprite. That's true. We might have a couple of variants of this guy. All right, that's fine. We'll leave it the way it is. We'll leave it the way it is for now. I can go back and change it later. But this is working okay. This is working okay for now. I forgot I changed his animation from autoplay. There we go. All right, so this is working fine. What we're gonna do is we're going to actually make a couple of variants of what this guy can say. So if we go to 4th Ave, we can say basically we're gonna use an if then function and say r, or rather rand I, is it? Yeah. Actually, what can rand I return? All right, so it just, who knows? Basically, n is smaller than 2 to the power of 32. Okay, so rand I and then modulo. So we'll just go like rand I modulo 3 is less than 3. Or maybe I should make a function for this. Choose. So choose a function that would basically take an array of, yeah. No. It's not, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. We'll just do it this way. If then this, actually we'll just do like this. Okay, so if r is equal to 0, then do this. This 1, this 2. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we'll say like, excuse me, I don't have time to talk right now. Please leave me alone. I'm busy. Sorry, I'm occupied at the moment. Something like that. So basically, he'll say one of 3 things here. Please leave me alone, I'm busy. Oh, I see. Okay. Because this executes. Right, okay. So what we want to do then, because this variable executes every time we execute an event. Like when the animation plays, this gets set. When the name tag is set, this gets set. So what we want to do is just set this variable once at the beginning. So we'll say set bar like that, or set. What did I call this? I'm trying to remember what I myself. Yeah, set bar. Okay. Object, variable name, and value. Okay. So object is going to be self. Variable name is going to be r. Value is going to be rand I modulo 3. And r 0. Okay. That should basically work. There we go. Yeah, I'm doing 3 individual conditions. It's a little jank. They keep interacting, yeah, touching each other. Okay, I'm occupied at the moment. Excuse me, I don't have time to talk right now. Please leave me alone, I'm busy. Okay, so that's exactly how it should work. Yeah, perfect. So then, now, what we can do is, let's move this trash bag. That can be like here instead, or up here. What we'll do now is basically spawn these guys individually at different rates, much like the car spawner works with cars. It'll just work with people instead. It might be good to repurpose the car spawner in actuality to work with objects. It doesn't have to be cars specifically. Vehicle path, rand F, vehicle path, yeah. Okay, so the way that this works is, you know, obviously it's spawning cars. It doesn't have to be cars though. So let's do this. We're gonna export a variable. It's gonna be the object or spawning object. And it'll be just a string for now. By default, it'll be this. Well, it doesn't have to even be that by default. But there's an interesting thing here where we basically have a chance to spawn other objects. In truth, there's no reason why we should do this at all. Well, no, this is fine, I guess, yeah, because the car and truck are different. I was thinking maybe the truck could just be a different sprite for the car, but the truck has a different hitbox. It's bigger, so it has a different box, and there's an idling truck. There's a truck that's off that you interact with, or not. Well, you do interact with it, but you can move around it. So you do know that the truck has a different size. So if there's going to be a chance, then I might need to make some sort of system where you basically can define objects in some sort of array or something. I'm not sure if Godot has that functionality. Let me do a quick doc search. Godot. And let me pull this over to the other screen. Let's see, export. Nope, export car. Does this allow us to click on it? No, it does not. Export bar. So yeah, like the way that I'm trying to get this to work. Okay, let's see. Export var. Int. Okay. So this is right. An array of sorts. Named enum. String. Multi-line. Resources. Arrays. Array. Int. Array. So maybe what I'll do. Let's try something. So we'll try exporting an array. What was the... Okay, yeah. So we'll try exporting an array of string. Something like this. Expected a constant expression. Would I... Ah, okay. This still isn't working. Would I... Var... Yeah. Var... String. Let me move this over here. Port array. Oh, string is speed. There we go. Now if we go over here, we can say like, oh, we have 2. Can I make an array of an array? Does that work? An array of an array of strings? So you can. So I can make an array of an array. But that's so awkward. Can I do like an array or a map? A dictionary? No. Script categories, grouping properties. Let's see. Array shuffle, grabbing index 0 could also work. Oh, that would work. Yeah. Raz edge, yeah, you're right. That would be a better approach for that, for this. Bonk. Let's just say messages equals this. Yeah, this would be a better approach. Okay, and then we can just say boom boom message shuffle. Or oh, I see. You mean messages dot shuffle. Random order. Yeah. Cool. That's perfectly fine. And then we just say 0. Cool. So what I would like to do is basically be able to assign to the car spawner the or a spawner the objects that we want to spawn and the chance that we spawn them. But is that even a big enough deal? That's kind of the question. Because the car and a truck, the only real difference is the look and the hitbox. Well, there's no reason to get, I guess, overly there's no reason to overcomplicate the design, right? Like, we have a car spawner that spawns cars. Let's just have a human spawner that spawns humans. They can be different, that's fine. Because we don't know what we need yet. And it might be that we need something different. It might be that we do not need something different. And we shouldn't worry about it until we get there. So let's go ahead and do that. We're just going to take the car spawner. This is fine. We're going to just call this a human spawner, or I guess unknown man spawner, and save this scene instead as a human or unknown man spawner. Cool. Works the same, but we don't want it to be the car spawner. We want this to be actually unknown man spawner, exactly. Work the same, except instead of car, it's going to be unknown man. Okay. All right, so this should work. This should work. This should work. All right, so let's go ahead and go to 4th Avenue. And we'll go to YSort. We'll instance a unknown man spawner. Put him like there, and then let's see if it works. Looks like it was going to, but it crashed. It didn't like this unknown man. Is that not the right path to the unknown man? It is not. Actually, I don't like spaces if we can avoid it. And spawner. Like you never know. Okay, so I think we're actually on the right track. I think it's dependencies. Oh man. All right, we should be good. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Hold on. It says couldn't find unknown man spawner. Oh. This. Okay, this is supposed to be scenes, objects, unknown man spawner. That should do it. Okay. It was working. I can't talk to them though. Oh, because I see. Right. Okay. So there's a couple problems that come to mind here. One thing is that if we talk to one of them, then the others will basically like push right by us. We'll see. We'll see how this works. But for now, to fix this issue where we can't actually talk to this guy, let's delete this. We have to just go over here to unknown man spawner, or rather unknown man, and make sure that his label is unknown. Yeah. All right. So let's see if this works. They're also spawning too frequently, but that's not really that big of a deal for right now. I'm just trying to see if it works. Invalid and get index 0 on base no messages. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. All right, so we should be okay. We are not. Invalid get index 0 on base nil. Start. Then I need to check. Turn invalid get index 0. Is it because... Oh, so messages that shuffle doesn't return. Oh, okay. Messages, I see. Okay, so messages.shuffle doesn't return the messages array. It simply shuffles the original array. So basically, you just do this. Like that. There we go. Okay, we're good. Okay, this is fine. I feel like this is fine. It's not great, but it's not bad. I mean, they can walk by each other. It's not a huge deal. We just want this to not ping so often. The unknown man spawner. So what we're gonna do, we're going to alter basically what the wait time is. Probably between 2 and like 5 would be okay. Also, the unknown man can kind of walk at different rates. So they're walking at 30. Let's say walk speed equals range between like 20 and 30, and then walk speed times delta. Okay, let's try that. Let's see. Big Red says your game looks beautiful as well. Much love. Thank you. All right, this works. They could be at different, like, where's my mouse cursor? They could be at different vertical positions so that they're not like always in a line. But this is fine. This is definitely getting there. We're gonna add like an additional maybe anywhere between like 2 to 5 or -2 to 2 to their position. Also, if we could like convert that to an integer, that'd be great. Yeah, just to give them a little bit like of kind of space. All right, this works. This works okay. Let's see something real quick. Let me go back to this guy. Or no, not this guy. Let's go to this guy, and I want to see something. Stuff, brain, script, brain, reload, brain. Okay, cool. So then why is... I'm wondering why, flip page, face to interact. Oh, that's why. Okay, never mind. So this should, face to interact should be on. There we go. I was wondering why isn't he turning around to face me? Where did I define that? That's in here. Okay, so this is working better and better. Rand eye range is a random integer. Oh, that would be better, yeah. Yo! Look at this man moonwalk. Alright, that's not good. How do we fix that? How do we fix that? That's actually a question that I don't quite know the answer to. How do we fix that? We don't need this. Rand eye range. I don't see rand eye range. Maybe that's a new feature, a new oh, random number generator. Yeah, that's okay. I don't need to generate a random number generator for this. It's not that big of a deal. This is fine. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting a phone call. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I'm gonna go ahead and change the music a little bit, and we're gonna keep moving. Yeah, this is an interesting problem, because basically the way it works, it's a little bit like basically like the way that this works. Oh, that's how I can fix it. Okay, never mind. This isn't that complicated. All right, we'll just do this. If you are not, then we'll just say sprite dot flip h equals false, and that's really it. I thought it was complicated. It's not complicated. There we go. Cool. So yeah, this is simple. what we're gonna do next, we're gonna make them move in the other direction. So let's go ahead and grab the unknown man spawner, duplicate this, move it over here, somewhere maybe like around there. We're gonna go ahead and flip this around, or we need to give this a property basically that says like walk right equals true. Yeah, that's fine. And then we can go over here and just say like this one walk right is not true. So this spawns, or I guess you could just say spawns right would be better. Anyway, the idea, the general idea here, spawns right, false. The general idea is basically when it spawns this guy, we just say person dot walk right equals spawns right. Then we go to the unknown man, and we define basically whether he's walking right or left here. Walk right equals true. Then we say if walk right, then we do this. Else we do this. And that's basically it. Now we go over here and it should work. That should be it basically. So let's make sure that this guy, yeah, these guys are walking. They can turn around, they can talk, they can go back. And then there should be some guys, yep, coming this way. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's basically it. That's more or less it. Now we just have to make so that they die. they get removed when they go off screen, which we can do by, how did I do it with the car? Let's see. Did I just, yeah, okay, just if your position's far enough. So that's fine. We can just do that, I suppose. Unknown man, we're just gonna say like, yeah, if your position is like -200, you can queue free. If your position is greater than like 400, 600, you can queue free. This is fine for now. What we want to do is basically say like, if you're maybe if you, yeah, I mean, the right way to do it is basically to see how big the map is and then see whether you break past the boundary of it, which we can do by going to the player code and just copying kind of the code that does this. More or less tile right size. Okay, so it's 40, yeah. Okay. Times tile size. Alright, so what we're gonna do, this is not as comfortable. But basically, wait, the unknown man spawner, yeah, adds it to the Y sort. Okay, so what we want to do is basically do this. We say tile map equals get node Y sort that tile map. And we're gonna go ahead and put this up here. This is going to be on ready. And then we basically want to see, let's see, tile map. It's a tile set, right? How did I do this with player? Tile map get children. It seems. Okay, so yeah, I did this. All right, so we're gonna go over here to unknown man. We're gonna put this in ready. Oh, I guess we don't actually have to do that. We can just put it here. Actually, we don't have to store it at all. So basically, we're getting all the children. We're gonna merge all the rects, the used tile maps, and then this rect is basically the level bounds. So bounds equals 2, 0. Bounds bounds.merge used, and then that's that, and then we just can say once we're done, level bounds dot actually let me what is this? So it's got a position, it's got a size, it's got an end. So we probably want to expand the size by 8 and 8, yeah. Size is the width and height, yeah, okay. So level bounds dot size dot x times equal 8. We'll just do this for now. Okay. So then if your position dot x is less than level bounds, well, we know it's 0, so we'll just say less than like 32. That's fine. And then if your position x is greater than level bounds dot size dot x, you should basically be good. Flip h is equal to walk right. Let's see. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I guess it's fine. Actually, it's not right, because if you're walking, no, that's right. Okay. No, because it should be not walk right. There we go. Okay, so that's basically it. I think we're good. All right, they're coming around, they're walking. Yeah, still working right. Okay. These guys. Now, something I would like to... Oh, no. Oh, plus 32. We'll just say plus 64. Okay. Alright, something I need to do is basically like spawn these guys in such a way where like it fills out the map before you get there. But this is fine, I think. Let's take a look at the remote and see if these guys are actually freeing themselves. So there's unknown mans, 62, 67, 69, 75, 77. Uh, 83, 86, 90. Oh. What? Huh? Alright, it looks like it's working. Yeah, okay. 75, 90, 94. Yeah, 75 disappeared. 90 and 98. 98 disappeared. Okay, so they are freeing themselves. Alright, cool. So they are actually, like, dying when they move too far. Okay, so this is working. This is fine. So the only other thing we basically need to do is we want to, I feel like we probably want to spawn a nice number of them when the game starts. So we're going to say, ready. So, for here, how about despawn area 2D that queues free on collision, easier to code and less conditions in processing? That's true. Yeah, I guess that's true. All right, let's do that. That seems like it's a relatively easy solution, and it does seem like it's simpler to implement, so we'll just do that. We're gonna add a child node that's gonna be the collision object, or collision shape rather. Not a 3D collision shape, but rather a collision shape 2D. And this will be just a straight up rectangle. It's gonna be vertical, it's gonna be like 100 tall, that's fine. This will be called destruction, NPC destruction. Okay, so now the idea, I didn't mean to move this actually. The idea of this is basically, yeah, when something touches this thing, it dies basically. So let's actually test this with the car, and because the car works by the same logic. We don't have to do this. We can just say, because let's see, how do we check for collision? Overlaps area, that's for an area 2D. Is that because it inherits collision object 2D? I don't quite remember. Let's see. Physics body 2D. Huh. I'm trying to remember, how do I check for collision with areas? Let's see, player. How do I do it with the player? NPC check in overlapping areas. The NPC check is an area already. What if I don't have an area that I want to check for a collision with an area? It takes nodes overlapping. So then the area 2D would detect the object? So the area would detect that it's touching an NPC and kill it. I guess that works. I mean, it's not ideal, I guess. Yeah, on body entered. Yeah, I suppose. I usually like to keep it in the object that's doing stuff, but I guess this is fine. So, NPC destruction. I guess it doesn't have to be NPC. It could just be a destruction area. That basically. I guess we can save this branch as a scene. We'll just call this a destruction area object. And signals on body entered. Oh, it doesn't have a script. So we will make a script. Let's see, on body entered. That's fine. For now, we'll just say anything that touches it will die. Say, alright, so destruction area, let's see if this works. So if I touch it, the player should die. Yeah, look, it looks like that worked. Let's see. It's not working for the cars though. The cars, are they not, maybe they're not physically there? Maybe they're not physically there. Let's see. Do they not have a, no they do. Oh, is it just destroying the body? We want to destroy the parent, okay. Alright, so we don't want that. We want a body.getParent.queueFree. Alright, let's try that. Oh, what's it touching? It's killing. It's destroying something else. It's destroying other things. All right, let's just move this out here, I guess. Maybe. But now it's going to destroy. Yeah, that's not gonna work either. It needs to destroy things that are kind of susceptible to be destroyed. Because we can't just make it so that it touches anything, it destroys it, because it's touching this border. Why is this border even here? What is this? Oh, that's the NPC, that's right. We don't want it to destroy everything, we just want it to destroy stuff that is destructible, I guess. So do we tag objects as being like despawnable? I guess that's fine. And then unknown man, it's also huh. This is weird. So, well, it's not weird, I guess. Well, I guess it's fine. Let's see. destructible. Okay, so we want the object itself to be destructible. We'll just call it despawn. It's easy to spell. Alright, so despawn, this will be also despawn. Okay. Okay, so now the destruction area, we wanted to say if body.getParent, although I don't think it works that way. Groups are like groups are like, you gotta get groups, get an array listing the groups that the node is a member of. There's no like easy is in group. Okay. So destruction area, we say if body.getParent.is in group despawn. Let's try that. Still not working. Why isn't it working? Do these guys despawn? This is interesting. Okay, so the destruction area exists. Signal is connected. Body entered. So this has to be a body. Let's see. The Coolum says, question how good is Godot with 3D objects? It was not great. I don't know about it being like performant, but the physics weren't quite there when I used it, but that was like 2 years ago. So it surely should be improved by now. I would definitely advise trying it out at the very least for 3D. Use it on the cars as well, it will run faster. I don't think, honestly, like the performance of this is a problem. This is just not a big enough game where it's gonna be like not performant. I think it'll be fine, but we're trying to do the best practices, most logical way to approach this still. So I don't have a problem with this. Body.getParent. Let's see. Let's try print body.getParent real quick. I want to see, is it actually like seeing the objects that are coming into contact with it, or so Y sort. Yeah, none of the cars are triggering it. Why not? None of the people are either. Yeah, just the player. Y sort. Why don't the cars trigger it? Why don't the cars trigger the... Are they not touching? What? Let's see. Visible collision shapes. Are they not collidable, or? No, yeah, they definitely have collision geometry. Huh. Yeah, I moved it to the left. No, it's there now. It's definitely should be touchable. So get parent. So let's just try. Yeah, what's the body? Body. Body. I assume that was the well, I guess yeah, that makes sense. So it should be this, but even still, it's still not seeing objects that are in. Yeah, like they're just coming into contact with this space and it's still not responding. Let's see, it's a rectangle, it's not disabled. It's not one-way collision. Monitoring, monitorable. Collision layer, collision mask. Space override, gravity, pickable. This is strange. It definitely feels like it should be working, right? Like, I'm not... Am I misunderstanding how this works? Also, wait. What's up with this? Did I move this again? I did. Okay, so... Yeah, it's weird that it's not seeing the cars. They're static body 2Ds. Static body 2D, collision, yeah. Sprite, shape 2D. Remove the get parent, the body is the static body, kinematic body. Yeah, I checked that. Collision layers, yeah, the collision layers are correct. The layer and the mask are both set to the same thing. There must be something really simple. There's this really simple reason why this isn't working. And I can walk through it. It triggers when I walk through it, but not when the car moves through it. Do areas 2D? No, area 2. Well, it detects. Let's see. Does it detect Brutus? This guy? It's weird. It's not detecting him. It detects rigid bodies, but not static bodies. But it detects those two static bodies. Let me do a quick check here. Area 2D. Are you guys sure that this would be better? Are you positive? Because I don't know. It doesn't feel. Well, if it was working, it would be fine. So I can't say that, use the fact that it's not working as an indication that it's a bad method or would be overly complicated or something. It might be overly designed for what this is, but that's not really the problem here. Body entered, area entered, body exited, body shape. Which shapes overlapped? Area. But yeah, it's weird. I feel like this wasn't a problem when I was implementing. Yeah, NPC check, get overlapping bodies, get overlapping areas. Bodies, NPC check. NPC check for player is an area 2D, but it can interact with static objects. What are the collision layers for the people in cars? They're all the same. I don't have any customized layers. All layers and masks for everything is just the default. Is that not correct? Interact area. Yeah, layer mask, that's correct. Pickable, yeah. Monitoring, monitorable. PC check. Yeah, that's fine. Well, this is strange. Static body 2D. Collision, yeah. Is it supposed to be like in Y sort? No? No, it's not supposed to be in Y sort. Destruction area. Is it supposed to be like I'm not sure. The static body isn't intended to move. That is up for debate. I mean, because basically I think static body is intended to be static, but saying it, I mean, like, it's not intended to move. Yeah, kind of, but it, you know, what is or is not intended to move that's flexible, because basically an object that is like, if I wanted an object to move, I should use rigid body. That is correct. However, there are objects that I want to move that I want to take priority over the player who is the rigid body. And so it makes sense to make them static so that they can like move the player out of the way. Because if they couldn't move the player out of the way, then the player could move them. And if the player could move them, he could put them into weird positions, right? Like he could like push a guy up like into here, or push a guy into the street, like, you know, that, and then that's a problem. So it's better to just make it so that they push the player out of the way, and that's fine. In my mind, I feel like this is an acceptable alternative. Couldn't you do the same thing with the kinematic body? Possibly, but I would need it would need to have like mass, maybe. I'm not sure if kinematic bodies have mass. What are those static bodies that do collide with the Area 2D? Check those. That's a good point. All right, let's see. So the objects that collide are 1, player and street. Player 1. Oh, right, okay. Player street. It says this. Can't click it because of course I can't. I wish they fixed like how easy it is to click things. Like if something's over the screen, it's just like you cannot click past it no matter what. Unless I'm misunderstanding. Maybe there's a way to do it, I don't know. Street is this. So it's able to detect this. This, basically it's an NPC, something you can interact with. Let's move that out of the way real quick. I want to see. Yeah, it just doesn't detect it. It doesn't detect anything else instead. It simply doesn't detect it. 1, is that probably... Is that something else? Let's see. 1. What's 1? Get parent. I tell you, dude. You think like I'm gonna do solids? Okay, so it's the solids. It's this. It's the ground. Okay. So it's detecting the ground. It's detecting the street, but it's not detecting any other static object. Why would it not detect any other static object? Why would it not detect any other static object? Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make another static object inside of here. And see if I can recreate this. So we want it to be a rectangle. And we want it to be here. So it detects it. It detects it here. Okay. So then why doesn't it detect it here in 4th Ave? I'm going to delete this. Area. Yeah, it's still not working. Huh. I genuinely am puzzled. I don't know. There's nothing. Wait, now it detects the bum. Why did it detect him now? Why did it detect it? What? Okay. Is this physically because it's static that it doesn't detect when it exits? How does that make sense? Okay, let's test this theory. So maybe it's because the object is static that it can't detect when the object leaves, because it works with the player. That doesn't quite make sense, but let's work under the assumption that that's how it works. Okay, so if that's how it works, let's change the unknown man from, or let's change the car because that comes faster. Let's change it from a static body to like a rigid body, or maybe kinematic body. Kinematic body. Let's change kinematic body. 2D. Okay. The script needs to change too. This is no longer static body, kinematic body. 2D. And let's see if that works. Go back over here. Now it works. So static body is not just about the physics interaction, but also how the internal engine understands movement. So even things like an object entering a area and then exiting an area, a static object doesn't report that. Only kinematic or rigid body objects report that. That's kind of jank, I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of salty, but at the same time, I understand why it works that way. Because it's like static objects are static, right? So the engine assumes that they don't move, even if they move. Even if, I mean, because you can take a static object and move the position of it somewhere else. So I feel like that's a bug, but at the same time, I could kind of understand it for my purposes because it's like, well, it's you know, I have these objects that basically are supposed to be immobile, and so I make them static, but I make them move because I'm not expecting to have them interact with other objects, and yet the physics engine doesn't quite understand that. So yeah, this is kind of weird. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to the truck. I'm gonna change this to be a kinematic body. I'm going to change this also, kinematic body. And then I'm gonna go to alley, the back alley, and see if I still can like not move the truck. All right, it's still good. All right, then I'll just use kinematic bodies for things that don't need to move, basically, because it seems like the physics engine understands that a little bit better. For objects that move, I don't know. So static objects, I guess, are literally genuinely immobile. Like, you should not move them under any circumstances. By code or by, you know, animation, don't move them. Okay, understood. That's the way it works. Fine. So this is no longer static. This is a kinematic body. This is no longer this. Okay, now it should work. All right, we're good. All right, it's working. Thank goodness. All right. Yeah, that's weird. It's tough because it's like, I understand the need to have you know, differences in object types when you have a physics engine, because different objects, you know, correspond, you know, they interact with each other in different ways. A static object is supposed to be static, it's not supposed to move. Kinematic objects can move, rigid body objects can move, But I mean, this is kind of a trap because it's like you would assume, okay, well, even if something is static, if I move it, the engine knows it's moved, right? Like if I have a static object and then I kick it over by 100 pixels, the engine should know I kicked it over by 100 pixels because it draws the object being kicked over by 100 pixels. And you know, objects will bounce off, you know, like if you have a platform here and the player standing on it, and then the platform drops 100 pixels, the player's gonna fall onto it. You know, he's not gonna, the physics engine recognizes that it moves. But for areas, it's like, no. For areas, it's like, what? Like it doesn't detect that. So I guess the question is then, why would you even want static objects? Like, why not just make it so that if you have it's basically static until it moves, then it's kinematic, and vice versa. So if you have a kinematic object and it sits for, let's say, 3 seconds, it becomes a static object. If you have a static object and you move it, then it becomes a kinematic object. They're one and the same in terms of how the engine presents them to the user. Is just a non-moving or a moving object, moving being rigid body and non-moving being static or kinematic. But behind the scenes, it basically is like, do you want to put the object to sleep and treat it as static and therefore have kind of a be able to, you know, avoid thinking about it so hard because it's not moving, or do you want it to be kinematic where, you know, it can interact with area 2Ds and stuff, and that's all hidden from the user. So I feel like that would be a better way to approach it, or just alternatively have docs that say like, hey, I feel like you know, it might be mentioned in the docs that static objects are just like literally not supposed to be moved under any circumstances. Body that is not intended to move. It is ideal for implementing objects in. Yeah, what? It is ideal for implementing objects in the environment such as walls or platforms, not intended to move. Understood. Additionally, a constant linear or angular velocity can be set for the static body, which will affect colliding bodies as if it were moving. Okay, so like a conveyor belt. So things that touch it will have this velocity added to it. Understood. Understood. Okay. And then kinematic body. It's for implementing bodies that are controlled via code. Okay. Detect collisions with other bodies when moving, but are not affected by engine physics. So kinematic body. Okay. All right. So it's just me not understanding it quite as well as I thought I did. Okay. That's my bad. My bad. Okay. I still don't know about it being not intended to move here. Like, I feel like they should rewrite this to be like, don't move a static body 2D. It'll open up problems. Like, if you want to move a static body 2D, make it a kinematic body. That's what I feel like that's what the docs would be. It should be clearer about that, because I thought like, okay, a static body not being a body not intended to move means basically it's supposed to like move it yourself. Like, you know, the engine's not gonna move it, you do it. You know, kind of a thing. But I guess that's fine. If that's the way it works, there's no problems. It's just a matter of like, they could be a little clearer about it being like, it will open up issues if you try to move a static body. So this works. Okay, we're good. We're good. And then we go to remote, and cars are being destroyed. Unknown man is 62, 67, 69, 70, 74, 77. So 24, 28, these should start disappearing at some point. I hate how it recollapses. That's so annoying. 24, 30, yeah, okay. So 34, 41, 50, 41, 50. Yeah, so these are getting destroyed. Perfect, perfect. So this is working correctly. All right, so we're good. Finally, it took some time, but we managed to get it up and running correctly. We can go back to the car and take out the stuff that makes it, yeah, remove itself. And the same thing for unknown man, if that's still in his code. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. Okay, So now we don't need this either. We don't need the level bounds. That's right. All right. Now we can make a couple other sprites for this guy. We can just make some alternative, just like one maybe alternate sprite. One or two, but we'll just start with one for now. Okay. All right, we're good. Now we're gonna make this guy a little bit darker. Make this a little bit darker. Actually, I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so we're just gonna copy and paste the greater portion of this. Actually, let's delete this. Okay. So now we can just kind of like boop, boop. What's this? Yeah, his shoe color is his shirt color right there. Okay, cool. Now we can... I don't know if I want to actually try animating his body or his arms, because it's only a 3-frame walk cycle. I think that's fine. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to go over to Unknown Man, and we're just going to basically alter this to work like the car already does, which is basically We're just gonna say this. Go back over to unknown man and just like crib this a little bit. That we don't really care about that or this or that or this. Actually, let's see. Sprites 0. Avail. Sprites that shuffle. We don't need ran. This. All right, we're good. All that just for like 3 lines. Yeah. What was the problem? Yeah, it just areas don't seem to work with static objects if they move. Basically, that was my bad. I should have known. Should have guessed as much. They're invisible. How'd that happen? Let's see. It couldn't load it? Did I call it something else? Unknown man 2? Unknown man? Oh, I know what I did wrong. This is the wrong path. It should be assets, textures, and then that's it. There we go. But yeah, something else I wanted to do was also like spawn them in so that there's already some people kind of walking around when you enter the map. Hopefully that won't cause problems. Hopefully. Unknown man. So we'll just make it so that it spawns them in a little bit, I guess. So we'll make a function here that says spawn and does this. On timeout we spawn. And on ready we spawn. Say now what we can do now, we can actually have it return the person that's created, and then we can say for I in range or maybe we'll say rand range, I guess maybe somewhere from like 3 to 6. We'll spawn a number of them, and then we also want to move them in. So if spawns right person.x plus equal, we'll say 60 plus I guess we'll just say 60. So anywhere from 60 to like what, 300 maybe? But something like that might be good. Let's see how that works. Also, no, yeah, over here. Didn't seem like it worked. Let's give it another shot here. Actually, let's move the player over to the left side so we can kind of see. Yeah, it didn't seem like it really did anything. I almost forgot. We can get rid of this print statement. Let's go back to the spawner. Let's make more 60. Oh, maybe it has to be global position. Try that. Doesn't seem like it's actually spawning any characters. Is it just not doing it? No? Okay. Yeah, it's creating them. Person equals spawn. Let's see. Return person. Yeah. Okay. R equals rand range. Plus equal 60, 300. Actually, we only need like 3 or 4. Because you're gonna spawn in wherever you are. Well, no, because you could come from another area. That's fine. It should be basically a filled street by the time you get there. So what's going on? Why isn't it actually creating them? Let's try something. I'm gonna play it and then pause it. And then I want to run to remote and see. Why is there an additional Y sword here? What the heck? Why is there an additional Y sword? Get parent, add child, person. Spawn. Person. What? Let's see. Why is there an additional Y sort? But then also, why is there only 2 unknown men? 24. Oh, maybe I'm pushing them. No, I couldn't be pushing them this way because they wouldn't all hit it. Am I pushing them all the way over? No. Let's see. Clean this up. So, if they spawn right, then we're moving them right. If they spawn left, then we're moving them left. That's correct, right? This is unknown spawner this way. Yeah, spawns are right. Spawns left, yeah. Let's try something real quick. Yeah, it's not actually spawning them? Preload? Can I get a... yeah, please. Yeah, okay. Why is it spawning? Why is it not spawning? Alright, so yes, it's printing, it's spawning a number of them. But alright, why are they not? They're all being added to the get parent. That's this Y sword. Yeah, there's so few. Why are there so few? Why aren't... Let's see. Why isn't this spawning? So instance, add child. Position, global position. Time, add, return. Okay, they're all at the top of the screen now. So what was it about this that they didn't like? Why is... I don't understand. We're spawning in the person. We're adding it. Parent.add child person. We're setting their global position. And then... This is so weird. But they're not being positioned anywhere. Yeah, 128 is like back there. It's so weird. Let's see something. Definitely be here. This is weird. I'm not sure why this is happening either. For some reason, it's not moving the... What is up with this additional Y sort? Where did this come from? Why is there an additional Y sort here? This is weird. Yeah, I don't know. Shouldn't it be a new person of instance of person? It is a new instance of person. That's what this line does, right? Am I tripping? Walk right, response right. Get parent, add child. Get parent. Add child, yeah. I'm going to assume this is something to do with Godot as an editor. I think there's something else going on here that's a little weird. So what we're trying to do is spawn people along the street. For I in range, rand range 510, person spawn. Person scene.instance, get parent add child. Now we're not spawning objects or spawning people anymore by a timer timeout. So where are all the people? Does Unknown Man despawn himself? Let me see. Yeah, they're just not being spawned. Let's see. Errors? Are there errors? Get global transform condition is inside, not is inside tree is true. I don't know what that means. Parent node is busy setting up children. Add node failed. Pardon me? I'm sorry? Parent node is busy setting up children. Add node failed. Consider using call deferred add child instead. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm misunderstanding something. I thought I wanted you to add a child. And you're telling me that you're busy? What? Oh no. Hold on. I have to understand this. Hold on. This is delicious. So you're telling me that if I can by some means engineer a situation where the game is initializing, I can't reliably add children? I can't set up my nodes? Like, what? I have to hold on. We gotta Google this. This is I have no idea what to make of this. Okay. Parent node is busy setting up children, add node failed. What does this mean? What is this? Hold on. It happens when adding new nodes by add child and ready. Call deferred is defined in object class, yeah. So you can call it with any node. What? What? I've never seen this before. Like I've never had this happen. Like I've never. Is what? It's trying to add the node before the tree is set up. Call deferred should work. Dude, if there was ever a reason why, like, I would say, like, Godot is not there yet for game development, it's this kind of stuff. I'm gonna be honest. This is just, like, the most... It doesn't make sense. It doesn't... What? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Rashad Z says, what happened? All right, so basically, I'm gonna kind of break it down as simply as possible. What I'm trying to do is add an object in the ready function of an object that already exists in my scene. So I have a scene. There's an object that spawns in people, and in its ready function, it creates the object, instances the object, it adds it as a child to the node tree. That's it. Godot doesn't do this because it's busy setting up the nodes in the, I assume, the nodes in the tree. So rather than basically internally deferring this call until it can do it, it just silently fails. Why? Like, why do I have to call deferred add child instead of just the engine saying, like, okay, well, I can't do it now, so I'll just defer this call until later when I can do it? Like, why would it just, like, silently just fail? Like, why? It doesn't, like, I can't do it any earlier than this, so what? Yo. I'm gonna have to weigh in on this. I'm gonna have to talk about this somewhere. I gotta, this is just, like, I can't wrap my head around why this is the case, because it's like, okay, I understand, you know, from a programming perspective, you know, if the engine is doing something and it can't do what you're asking it to do right now, then it's going to basically ask you to do it later. fine, there's no problem there. And you know, it presents you with an error or tells you, you know, I can't do it right now. But the thing is, this is as early in the engine's lifetime, the game's lifetime, as I could do this. So the only alternative is to defer this call, which means, like, why can't the engine do it for me? Like, you know, if it was like, oh, why is my object being spawned in 3 frames later than I expect, and then I check the error log and find out that it's, you know, failed, it's like, that's one thing. But to have it fail and I'm like, why aren't my objects appearing at all, and I take the log and it's like, yeah, do this instead, it's like, but why even have this functionality to add a child? Why not just make it so that the add child function will add the child when it can do it? It just, I don't know. Add child should be used when the scene is already fully loaded and is running. Yeah, like why if the scene is not fully loaded to the point where it cannot add children yet, why not just add why not add, like, when you go to call the function add child, instead of adding the child directly to the node, it adds it to a list, and adds basically all the children, you know, after like everything's all the scene is properly initialized, if it cannot do so immediately. Like, it doesn't, like, and I guess the question is, why can't it do so immediately, considering that this is the Y-sort object, it exists, the car spawner exists, and so I'm basically, you know, I guess what it's happening is it's calling ready on car spawner before it's initialized these objects. And so when I'm saying like, oh, add a child, it's like, well, these objects don't exist yet, so I can't do it. So it's like, but why? Like, that's, I guess that's kind of where I am. It's just like, why does it matter? Like, why can't you do it for me? Why? I don't know. Okay, add child. Oh, person. All right, let's give it a shot. I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, man, I just want this to work. Yeah, there we go. All right, at least it's quasi working. I'm so, like, I'm just tired now. I'm just like, why is this? Why? I'm not a huge fan also of having like things in output and in debugger, because like you have to go to debugger then errors to find errors, and like you can easily silently ignore these and think like, okay, well, if there's going to be a problem where like, oh, something isn't spawning, that's going to show up in output, and that's not the case. So I guess I just have to get used to it, but at the same time, it's annoying. At least this is working. At least this is working. Alright, so this is at least a good start. I wanted to do more than this, but unfortunately this is kind of where we are going to end, I think, because I have to make a run, I think. It's been real. I'm tired. I have to get used to it, I guess. I just have to get used to Godot. There's still things that are just like, it's a good engine, but I feel like there are things, oh, this is my own stream. It's a good engine. But there are things that basically I feel like could be kind of smoothed out for the process of development. And I feel like the things that the community in general works on, or like the things that you see the most advancement in, are the things that I feel like aren't that important. Like, you see like, oh, you know, better 3D stuff, and it's like, oh, you know, 2D batching, and it's like, okay, that's cool, but like, you know, I'm running a game, and like, I can't go to the script tab. I mean, just like basic usability things. Like, I go to script tab, or I'm sorry, I am in the 2D section as an example, playing the game, looking at remote, and remote will recollapse, or like it'll switch from script to 2D automatic just by itself, like for no reason. You open a scene and it opens the script for the scene regardless of why. Like, you go to, if I go to NPC Brain, it'll just open the NPC Brain script. It's like, I didn't say to do that. Like, it just will do stuff. Like I'm in NPC Brain, I'm looking at NPC Brain.gd, I go to 4th app and it opens the game map because that's on the root. It's just like, usability stuff is the problem. Like, I feel like that's really the problem with Godot. That's the thing that I run into the most, is just usability bugs. And that's what I feel like need to be fixed, and those aren't the things that kind of get the... Well, I can't say that those aren't the things that get fixed yet, because I haven't tried the new version. Like, I haven't tried the new version that's just about to come out. So hopefully the usability things will be fixed, and I don't really care about like 2D batching or 3D stuff, that much. Like, those are definitely useful features, but like, the thing that's going to keep you from using the engine is not, like, you might stop using the engine in 9 months when you find out that Godot's, doesn't have 2D batching, or Godot's 3D is too slow, but you're going to stop using the engine in 3 minutes when it's like, yeah, you change a script and it doesn't reload. Or like, oh, you are running the game and you try to add an object and it doesn't add. So I'm just salty. I'm salty, and I always am salty with Godot because it feels like it could be a really good engine. It feels like it's really high quality. It feels like parts of it are fantastic and parts of it are just like not there yet. And it's that disparate difference between the highs of the software and the lows of the software. It's such a wide margin. It's just like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to like try to bridge these two pieces that aren't quite there. Anyway, I'm salty. I'm done. I'm salty. I'm gonna stop the stream here. We're gonna pick it up next week, and we're gonna keep working and see if we can get more things done next time. So thank you very much for stopping by. It's been fun. I've been SolarLoon, and I will continue to be SolarLoon, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side next time. See ya.